You like hip-hop? It's the year of the rabbit, so hopping is quite relevant right now. Hello, my little worms. I'm Dei, and welcome back to Dei Completes, Arknights, this series in which I try to actually make progress in the Arknights story, one level at a time. And currently we're trying to make our way through the Lingering Echoes event. Although, I really started this far too late because I've got 3 days and still multiple levels to get through, so uh-oh. And the level we're tackling today is LE-6, Danse Macabre. Interesting. You can dance if you want to, you can synth yourself inside, but if you do that, you're gonna get shot by the Brotherhood of Steel in the Sky. You can be the example or the exception, but if you do that, you're gonna get shot by the Brotherhood of Steel in the Sky. That's a random parody that I wrote about Paladin Dance from Fallout 4. For some reason, why not? Why not? And I got an opportunity to actually bring it up, so sure. We hail from the earth, and shall one day turn to dust upon it, but not today. And now I do believe it is time for us to begin this level. Team is probably still fine. Am I ever gonna change it up? Probably not. I think we are now in the sewers, as was discussed in the previous one, so yes, fair. 2 men strike forward in the wide, dark sewers. Yes, this does seem decently wide. Goes from there to there. Yeah, it's wide. Dark, not so much here. Down there definitely looks pretty dark, so I'd say, yeah, they've delivered as advertised. The sound of water is loud and grating, even more sinister than unbroken silence. Can I currently hear the sound of water? Well, considering that the game is basically muted for me, so that doesn't echo, no. I don't actually know if the recording can, though. I will find that out during editing. Hold on a minute. Make it right here. You sure know this place well. Of course I do. Of course you do? Sorry, of course I know the exact layout of the sewers. Who do you take me for? Something every spy should know? The first thing every spy should know. The layout of the local sewers. Fair, I suppose. It's a decent way to get like a getaway or to get into a location, but like, still feels a bit weird though. Then I'm sure you've already been working in the Afterglow for years. Trying to get on my good side. Just curious. You're not privy to that information. Aw, disappointing. I want the information. Give me the information. Why'd you stop moving? There's something over there. That's the oldest trick in the book. Don't even bother. No, I'm serious. Look over there. Something's moving. Beagler presses the weapon in his hand against Graf Urtica's heart from behind, his eyes then following the direction of the grass fingers. Fair. It's just an Orignium slug. You've never seen one of those before. Is it really just an Orignium slug? The high and mighty Graf Urtica was so scared by an Orignium slug that he couldn't even walk. Now I've seen everything. I still think there's something not quite right. Stop being stupid and get a move on. Fine. Wait just a second. Isn't that an awful lot of slugs? That's way too many. This is going to be a major problem. Run, now! So, I think he was right. Why are you... It's about to be too late already. Hurry up! Beagler grasps Ebenholz's wrist tightly, and the two of them sprint through the sewers. Yay! So, I guess this is your time, Ebenholz, to say, I told you so? Do you have a map of the sewers inside your head? If you have the time to quip at me, you'd be better off spending it to catch your breath. That is a fair point. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Every branch we take seriously looks the same to me. Rested up? We just... Then keep running. Hurry. I mean, they are slugs though. How fast are slugs? Not sure. Maybe they're very, very speedy slugs. Why are we gasping? It's like, I can't keep going. Are you gasping for air or just gasping? Like, I'm not sure exactly which way I was meant to take that. Just, is it a, or is it? That's fine. We just happened to find who we were looking for. Who were we looking for? Ah, Lockman. Fair. Good evening, Herr Lockman. Good evening, Shopkeep. Shopkeep? You don't know a damn thing, but you still have to stick your nose where it doesn't belong. What a pain you are. Wouldn't you agree, Beagler? Agreed. But you're the one who's in real trouble. You've provoked all the Erignium slugs in this area, and they're swarming towards the surface. As we both know, the Erignium slugs in the sewers emit a noxious gas, and what you're doing is tantamount to a chemical attack on the infected of the Afterglow. A chemical attack? But aren't we fine right now? The gas has a much stronger effect on the infected than it does on you, Graf Urtica. Then Chizerni and Hibiscus. And Creed, too! I'll have a Creed was third in that. Good. You already understand the situation. Luckman, quell these Erignium slugs and return them to their original state immediately, or I will exercise my right to put you down on the spot. It's no longer possible. A lone man can start a fire easy enough, but even if you point a knife at his neck, he won't be able to put it out alone. It depends on the size of the fire. If you just started the fire, you can probably immediately put it out, but like if it's a giant raging inferno and it's like an entire forest, one guy, yeah, probably can't do much about that. What do you people get out of this? What do we get? How do you not even know that much? Not interested in hearing your riddles. Pestilence from shadow, wanton spouts, spew ruin in prelude. Do you really need me to explain it word by word? Let me rephrase. What do you get out of making the prophecy come true? You don't need to worry about that. I feel like we do need to worry about that. What are you trying to do? Silence him? Just knock him out already, my dear mean-spirited spy. Do you have any way of controlling these slugs? If I did, I wouldn't be wasting my breath on him. Then let's get going before it's too late. Glare sharply. You're more than meets the eye, Graf Urtica. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Fine, I'll counter him out, and you follow me. Wait, hold up, that's what? Ebenholz sees the same thing Beagle sees. How about for the audience here? What are you seeing? Where Lockman has fallen, something silvery is glistening on the sewer wall. It's the keyhole. There might be some kind of device inside controlling the Erignium slugs. I'll blow the door open. Let me see if I can pick the lock first. Fair. It'd be bad news if you blew up something important. Yes. Or if you hit something like explosive inside and just blew both of you up. Can you open it? The lock's a pretty tough nut to crack, but it won't get the better of me. While you're working on that, mind telling me what this prophecy is all about? You've never heard of it? Well, whatever. It's spreading around anyway. O'er lofty hills, the fiend steps into twilight's midst gaze. The blood hides plague within, slow beckons death to creep all ways. Pestilence from shadow wanton sprouts, spews ruin in prelude. Fades finale's ensemble, woe departs with sun's last rays. Whatever any of that just meant. Ensemble? Whoa? Right. To be honest, I'm still curious what the last verse means. I don't know what any of the verses mean, really. Everything else is already fairly clear. The first verse refers to Hibiscus's revival? Arrival. Yeah, she revived from the dead! Oh my god. Arrival in the afterglow. And the second refers to the phenomenon of false recovery. You even know about that? What do you think a spy's job is? Wearing cool, badass like outfits, like black turtlenecks and stuff, and like being cool and stuff like that, right? I think it's great. There's no actual like spy work in it, it's just looking cool. Now, the third verse is also clear. All that remains is the last one. It's open. Yes, I wonder what the last one refers to. I'm sure we'll find out soon. Now that's something. A laboratory? Perry the laboratory! For some reason, the way I said that, I just felt like that was what I had to say next. I don't think the laboratory was wearing a hat, though. That would probably be a little bit weird. How big would the hat be? Like, it's just standard-sized hat on the top of the laboratory, or like a laboratory-sized hat? Like, it's just a giant hat engulfing the entire building. Perhaps I should stop getting sidetracked. Ah, it's you. Thank you for organizing. Her Chizerni. The situation outside has gone to hell in a handbasket. I'm not sure hell can fit in a handbasket, if I'm being honest. Hell seems like it would be quite large, and like a handbasket is quite small. So that's probably the intention behind that phrase, I'd imagine. Swarms of noxious Erignium slugs started coming up from the sewers, and a lot of people have already been poisoned. It's total chaos out in the streets now. Oh no, they're saying this is a part of the prophecy, and panic is spreading through the afterglow. Well, crap. How did this all happen? We can't do much about people panicking right now, but how about those who are poisoned? They're not looking too good, especially those whose oropathy started getting better recently. They're having even more violent reactions. Oh no! We've already contacted the hospital, but the medical staff on the line didn't seem very motivated when they heard that we're in the afterglow. As always, not motivated. I'll go negotiate with the hospital then. It's too dangerous outside. You better just call. If they didn't care when you made the call, it won't make a difference if I'm the one on the line. This is something I'll have to take care of in person. But tomorrow's the day of the concert, and if you get poisoned... that seems less important than what is going on right now. If these inexplicable events result in deaths, do you think people will be in any mood to enjoy the music, even if the concert continues as planned? Yes, you don't really want to be playing a concert to just like a crowd of corpses. I don't want things to reach that point, nor do I want to pretend as if nothing is happening. I'd rather not play a single note than lie to myself. Fair. That is a very good point, Chisani. And now, where are we? Why are there so many slugs? It reeks. What is this stench? I'll help you. Let's get out of here. Looks like the prophecy is coming true. Oh no. Not the prophecy. Whatever it actually ends up being. Damn pests. Stay away. Kraus, get up. Help us. Someone. Anyone. Hibiscus, maybe? Is someone playing the cello? Ah, Creed. All the slugs are going in the direction of the music. Thank you. Kraus, stand up. Here, hold on to my shoulder. Hold on tight. Let's go now. So now you've made all the slugs go towards you. So, what's the plan here, Creed? You're welcome. I mean, you could have just said out loud, you're welcome. Like, it seems like you're already drawing them towards you anyway. So it's not like that's really all that helpful. And saying you're welcome, it's like, why not? With Creed at the epicenter, the tones of the cello spread out across the narrow streets and alleys of the afterglow. Wherever the cello's notes travel, the Erignium slugs turn around one after another. Those who had been surrounded think the crisis is over, that the poison exhaling insects will soon retreat to the dark sewers under the guidance of the cello's tune. He's basically being a Pied Piper at this point. But they are wrong. Both where they can and cannot see, Erignium slugs make their way towards Creed. What's the point here, Creed? What are you going to achieve? It feels like you're just going to get attacked by a ton of slugs and poisoned and die. Not ideal. Finally, made it. Now what? Do I just blow all these slugs up with arts? Something's not right here. Now what is it, my good spy? The Erignium slugs were all congregating in one place. A cello? Creed, what are you doing? Stop that right now. No yelling. It won't do any good and will only mess up your lungs. Help me get through. Ooh, a cool pic. What's the bet I'll end up having used this in the background of the thumbnail? I told you, stop shouting. He won't stop playing just because you're shouting, and I won't stand aside just because you aren't. Ooh, another cool image. Then let's combine forces and clear a path to Creed. I don't think so. I'll head in the opposite direction. Are you going back to your coffee shop? Yes, we worked together to create an opening. Now, we'll part ways. Haha. I'm sure you can't wait to head back to your shop and study those torn documents you retrieved from the lab, right? You got torn documents in the lab? Interesting. I'm so glad the research notes about the Voice of Terror are so much more interesting than the lives of the infected. Creed's situation is your own damn fault, so you can solve it yourself. Also, if I find out that even a single word in those notes and plans was written by you, just you wait. I'll be waiting sure enough. There's just a lovely bromance between these two brewing. I can tell that they just love each other so much. That's the end of our chat. We're going on the count of 3. You gonna count? You're not gonna count? I'll do it for you. 1, 2, 3. Still just darkness. And here we are in the level. Ooh, what's this? A saxophonist, when blowing a full force, fires ranged attacks in all 4 directions, dealing high physical damage to allies hit. These attacks can be blocked by realigned flux. Okay, good to know, good to know, good to know. And you're coming through there. We need these open. Ooh, they're putting someone that way immediately. That's not good. Alright, you up there. You here this way? Because I feel like we need to power that up as soon as possible. And hope that this guy just can't attack fast enough. Because, like, they've got passive healing, so they might be good. Also, come on, please, just faster, a little bit faster. I know your ability is definitely not going to get up quickly, but come on. Alright, now we can stun them at least for a little bit. Okay, that is now activated. So what do we do with that? We get rid of you, I think. Yes, alright, we get rid of you, and then we put this here, facing that way. That gets rid of that problem over here. We can just have people in it through that. Unfortunately, you are about to die, which is not ideal. So I will get rid of you myself to get the DP back, and then place you there instead. We need someone defending here. I think you are the best person to put there. Because then you can be hitting them from here and also protecting that spot there. We definitely need a healer down. That's pretty obvious here. We could put them there. Yes, I think I will do that, because we only really need the healing happening on this side right now. Mudrock will be fine. We need to get this somehow to there, and I don't know how I'm going to do that, honestly. If I get through here? Yeah, that'll work. So I'll put you here doing this to try to power that up, I guess. Because, like, the alternative was that, like, Mudrock had to be going down, or that we had, like, Kit here and then down and then through. So it's like, it just seems the most logical to use this spot. These guys are a lot stronger when that's not there. So, uh-oh. Mudrock should still be able to hold them, hopefully. Okay, that's now there. We don't actually need you sitting there, though. So now we need someone here. I think Mostima might be a good bet here. Alright, so now we've got that flux going through there, making them weaker, and helping Mudrock to be able to use their ability a bit faster. I really am hoping that your ability comes up soon, Blaze. You can actually start hitting these while they're standing there. Ooh, that requires a block 2, doesn't it? I don't know about this guy. He's probably a block 1, so Mudrock can probably block both at once. But, like, still, it's like, that's always a bit of a worry when you've got a unit like that. But also, he might only be a block 2 when outside of the flux. I can't remember exactly how those big guys worked. Alright, we've got those coming through here now. If I put anyone on there, they're just going to get hit by it. Alright, good that you can hit that. Because I was worried that, like, because Blaze isn't facing downwards, it's not going to be able to attack until they reach a point where they're blocking. But yeah, Exia can handle that problem. So it's not too big of an issue. Now we've got the Erignium slugs, finally, that were mentioned. Alright, it has surface for the thing. It doesn't seem like they're particularly deadly ones. So I think that's fine. You've taken a decent chunk of damage, Mostima. We've only got one healer we can put down over here. So we can try doing this? Maybe? One forward? Yes, I'll do that one forward. Just to try to make sure that they stay up as much as possible. Blaze is now hitting them, which is what I wanted. Do we need any of our DP generators back down? Probably not. We seem to have a lot right now. So I think we're good on that front. Alright, so is that 15 more enemies? Alright, another big guy up the top there. Is there anything we want to do with this flux? Currently it's being effective when these guys walk through, while they're on that spot. It might be better if they're on this one, though. Can't really turn it, like, entirely around that thing. It's a situation where it potentially would have been better if you were facing downwards, but I still need you doing this here. But it seems like we're mostly fine with that. 4 more units. 3 now. What are they going to be? So we've got a big guy, a caster, and I don't know what the last one's going to be. Another caster. Alright. This seems fine. We should be good with that. I'm going to maybe... Oops, that was the wrong unit. Place you there to do that a bit quicker, and then activate that ability to kill that quicker. And now we just wait for Mostima to finish it. One more. There we go. Mission accomplished. Ooh, what was that? Ebon was apparently, but I don't know what specifically it was, but alright. Creed, I'm coming. Stop playing the cello. Are you trying to get yourself killed? That is something I've considered. I'll draw all the slugs over with the sound of my cello, and then burn myself to ashes along with them. But now that you're here, I probably won't have a chance to do that anymore. Creed, why? Ever since I was little, I knew there was something wrong with me. The infected who spent a lot of time around me, their sickness kept getting worse and worse. He's known the whole time! My grandpa and I were chased out of our home for it. We started wandering between villages. I always thought it wasn't all infected people, that as long as they didn't spend too much time around me, they'd be fine. But my grandpa's condition finally started to deteriorate, and that shattered my first illusion. After that, Hibiscus told us about the phenomena of false recovery. I've already caused such serious damage in the short time since I came to the Afterglow. If me living brings calamity to others, then I would rather die. It's not your fault. How is it not my fault? ... Do you know about the voice of terror? And then is it going to be a skip and then he's now done the entire thing? Now that you mention it, I think I'm finally starting to remember. About the voice of terror. Those who died in the experiment. The Witch King's remains, and you! I remember it all now. That's why none of this is your fault. The Witch King and his remains are to blame, as well as Gertrude. But you're innocent. Thank you for reminding me that this isn't something I was born with. It was the foul product of an experiment. I couldn't remember either until I heard the sound of your cello, so I should be thanking you. But what? The situation has already spiraled out of control. I can't even mitigate the harm I cause anymore. Besides, if the Graffin's words are true, then my days are numbered. I might as well do something here. No. Why would I get myself tricked by Gertrude? Voices of the mundane can be swamped out. Can be swapped out. There we go. But mine is already corrupted. Even if I were to transit to you, we won't know until we try. If you're already prepared to die, then what are you still scared of? I don't want to hurt you. You can worry about that if something bad actually happens to me. Until then, let's make a wager. Fine. Can you normally feel the melody of the voice of terror? Whether I'm performing or casting arts, I can always vaguely feel the pressure of the voice. I know this shrill melody well by now, even though it's not at all mine. I know. Mine isn't shrill. If anything, it's gentle. Rather, I should say that it's so harmonious, almost to the point of being an empty void. Let's try our best to match the melodies we've experienced, and put them together. Put them together? But we don't have an audience. No, look at the audience all around us. The Rignium Slugs? Playing to Rignium Slugs the melodies that the old bastard left behind is quite fitting, if you ask me. Humane, even. As soon as the sounds of flute and cello intermingle, both men immediately recognize the problem. There is hardly any consonance between their two melodies. The flute's voice is urgent, manic, and harsh. It speeds up and slows down as if filled with an urge to drag everything before it into the abyss. The cello's voice is languid, melancholic, and hollow. Its rhythm remains constant, akin to a land ground down to nothingness by catastrophe. But the two brace themselves and persevere, continuing their duet that is not a duet. The slugs surge forward like the tide. Underneath a noxious sky, the two men whose lives have been twisted by their voices of the mundane continue their discordant duet, reading the score of a melody that they never knew existed in their minds, playing before an audience of Erignium slugs. The more Ebonholz follows this train of thought, the more he feels himself approaching the coda of the voice of terror's melody. He puts more force behind his breaths, while the sound of Creed's cello grow heavier and hollower. Oh ho 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 ho. Ebonholz lowers his head to look towards Creed. Creed's head has already begun to droop. His hand continues bowing, but the cello's sound becomes dimmer and dimmer, getting closer and closer to nothingness. Suddenly, in this moment, Ebonholz seems to realize something. So he uses his remaining strength to blow one final... What is this word? Sforzando. Don't know. Creed also seems to be struggling, laboriously sawing at the thickest string on the instrument. Their music spreads like an alarm bell. The slugs that had been frantically rushing towards the pair of musicians suddenly retreat just as quickly, as if they have seen a predator. Interesting. Creed, are you still with me? Creed, are you still awake? I'm awake. How's that? Can you still hear the melody of your voice of terror? To be honest, it seems even clearer now. Sorry, I acted without thinking. But on the bright side, we managed to drive away the Irignium slugs. Hold on. Creed, what's wrong? The new sushi you brought for me. Oh good, it hasn't been soiled. Probably doesn't smell too good though, right? True enough. It's fine. I bet you can't even imagine how much I reek right now. Speaking of which, this wouldn't be the first time I've got myself into this mess. That time, a fire broke out not far from the spire of Vertigo. Instead of going to put out the fire, the spies' attendants all rushed over to make sure I couldn't go anywhere. They were afraid you'd run away? Afraid that I'd run away. Afraid that I'd go into hiding. Afraid that I'd die in that sea of fire. They worried about you dying. Nearly all the windows in the spire had arts-enhanced bars and locks, just in case I tried to jump off. I was a prized figurehead. If I went off and died, they wouldn't have been able to endure the consequences. In the end, the flames never reached the spire, but I did get marinated in the smell of smoke. I wore that smoke-soaked coat for a good half-month, and didn't take it off until the weather warmed. That brings back old memories here as well. After my grandpa and I were run out of our old home, we started to wander between some of the more affluent villages. Most people were pretty friendly to us as long as we hid the fact that we were infected. I read in novels that during the harvest season, friendly villagers would prepare bratwurst and beer for the day workers at night, so that they could eat and drink to their heart's content. The friendly villagers threw some spare change at us and shooed us out of the village before nightfall, in fear that we'd steal things. The not-so-friendly villagers prepared some rock-hard schwarzbrats and pointed weapons at us, intended to make us fall in line. One time I was helping a villager out with some farm work. It was really hot that day and I was dripping with sweat, so I wanted to loosen my clothes while nobody was around. Right before I was about to take off my shirt, I heard a commotion not far away. Grandpa rushed over and told me to run, saying that one of the workers rolled up his sleeves thinking nobody was watching, accidentally revealing the Irignium crystals on his arm. The villagers immediately threw him into an abandoned cellar and locked him up, and then set out to check on everyone else, one by one. If not for Grandpa, I might have also died in that cellar. Died? They actually killed the infected. They didn't need to, nor did they dare. All they had to do was wait for them to starve, crystallize, and explode. Hasn't there been a long-standing law to treat the infected with dignity? I never knew about a decree like that until I first set foot in a nomadic city. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. You have nothing to apologize for. You were also deceived by the Graffin. No, what I mean is, if I had been a little braver back then, if I had spoken up back then, maybe you wouldn't have had to. I'm sorry. Really, you don't have anything to apologize for. Just as you said, the voice of terror was made by man. The blame falls on those who sought to use the voice of terror, not on you. I protected you in the manner I could, just like you're trying to protect me now. ... You're right. Thank you, Creed. Come, let's find Hibiscus and her Chizerni. They'll know what to do, I'm sure of it. And then we'll have that voice of terror removed from you. You can thank me properly after that. Let's go. What happened? Creed? Did he just collapse? Uh-oh. That seems concerning. Creed's condition is more or less stable. The reason he passed out most likely has to do with the poison. Oh no. We've rescued a number of poisoning patients whose signs and symptoms largely match with Creed's. But on the subject of Creed's future, the Countess probably didn't lie. Overall, his condition is on the edge of critical. So you'll help us, won't you? I want to trust the two of you, I really do. But I need proof. Even if it's circumstantial evidence, I need some objective facts to show that the voice of terror isn't baseless speculation, but a part of an imminent plot. Not entirely sure what sort of evidence you can provide for that, but perhaps he has some idea. Sir? Where have you been? We've been looking all over for you. Lies? Speculation? Can you be 100% sure that what you say is true? What you said to Creed, do you know that he almost died along with those Irignium slugs because of your words? Ebenholz, is that true? Not slightly. Had Ebenholz not found him first, you would have never seen him again. I'm telling you, the voice of terror is real. That I swear on my life. What do you mean? I don't have time to explain it to you right now. I have work to do. But I need to. You are among the most stubborn folk I've ever met. Go to the lounge of the concert hall, and you will understand everything. Right, the concert hall. Gertrude said she did something to Afterglow Hall to make it match with the arts during the duet. Alright, let's go right away. There's also Chizerny. Make sure you bring him as well, in case neither of you can convince the other. I have to go now. My people need me. Sir, you... Ebonhalls and Hibiscus trade glances. They are both suspicious, but they're also running out of time. Deeply concerning. Well, it seems that at least everyone seems to be mostly on the same page now. Now we only have to figure out how to save Creed and get rid of this voice of terror that is causing so much problems and foil whatever plots are going to happen and etc, etc. Also, fun fact, I wonder if you noticed that for half of this video, the game was actually muted, and I actually went back afterwards and recorded all the sound effects and just tried to match the timing. Oh god. Yup. I wonder if it was noticeable. I don't know because I haven't edited it yet, but maybe it was very noticeable. Things did not line up in the slightest, but I tried my best. I can't believe I didn't notice the game was muted. This is what I get for always playing with really low volume so that I can't actually hear what's going on, so I don't accidentally echo the mic. But that's just... it's a slight problem that because I can't hear things, I didn't notice that it was muted. Good job, me. Good job. Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Ring that notification bell. It does something, I still don't know what. And follow me on Twitter for updates and to see my thumbnails in a larger size. Or sell announcements of streams, whenever those happen. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next level. Goodbye, everybody, and roll the outro.
I gave that bastard what he deserved. A funeral. Fit for a king.